Welcome to Crew Life at Sea podcast. Here, we will share the skills you need to make your experience and adventure out at sea a success. Hear inspiring stories from experienced crew from all diversities. Gain knowledge and know your rights. Be part of the Crew Life at Sea. And let's welcome your host, Raymond Crystal.
Hello, and welcome to Crew Life at Sea. Today I have a special guest with me. His name is SURESH. How do you pronounce it?
NAIR.
NAIR. SURESH NAIR. I won't forget that because the word NAIR in my country is not such a nice word, but we used to say to people, hey, you're NAIR. So I will remember that.
Hello, dude. You're South African, but there are not too many NAIRs in South Africa. I know that.
100% right. Suresh, could you tell us how you've been in this position as an IT communications officer and what journey you went on to get there?
Well, that's a long story. Actually, I joined the shipping industry on a cargo ship as a radio officer. So that is back in 1980s, all right?
Wow.
So I did that job for about 10 years. And then due to the advancement of telecommunication technology, things got changed. So we came to a situation that they don't need a dedicated officer to do the communication itself. So then slowly they started giving away that position. So in order to continue in the shipping, I had to find another job. So I still wanted to sail on board the ships. I had to do some conversion courses, and then I found there's a position on the passenger ships, luxury cruise ships, as the IT officer. So I did some trainings and certifications for that, and then I joined as a trainee IT officer, and then for the last 18 years I've been doing this job.
Wow.
That's the
what type of certificates did you have to require to get into this field? What type of training did you have to do?
Well, for the IT part of the certification, I have the MCSC, that is a Microsoft Certified System Engineer certification, and also an A+ certification in computer hardware. All right. So then I joined as a trainee systems manager, and then they promoted me as the IT officer. And since precisely from 1999, I have been in this job.
Oh, excellent. Good job, man. That's how many years in total?
Oh, that's 18 years plus in IT itself. And before that, say about 10 years, I did the job as a radio officer. So around about closely 30 years of sailing experience.
Wow. So you were a real veteran, and people should be so proud of this, man.
I should say yes.
Wow. So let me ask you, how difficult is it for you to get this type of a job on board a ship? Is it difficult? How does it work?
Yeah, I mean, actually, it is difficult because sometimes it depends upon the number of vacancies with the different companies. I have been with the company called We Ships for last, I would say, about 29 years. And since I have been with them for a long time, so I'm a senior officer in the company, and I always had a preference to switch the job and to get a position in the company. So it wasn't really hard for me, but for newcomers, there are a lot of challenges.
In India, when you do apply for a job like this, what's the process in India? That's where you're from, right? In India.
Correct. I came as a radio officer, and that was back in 1980s. But if somebody wants to get into this job at this time, he should have a kind of degree in computer education, and plus this Microsoft certification in networking, and very good knowledge in computer hardware. If he has to join us IT and communication, the combined job, then he has to go for the radio certification, which is a GMSS certification. So once that is done, then he can join as a trainee for some time. And then depends upon your performance, the company might promote you as a IT officer.
What part of your job is the most challenging for you?
Well, the thing that is that is when there is a big breakdown. That's a main hardware failure. The cruise industry, the business is highly depends on the computers and computer network. So when that goes down, yes, that's a serious problem. We do have the shore support 24/7. So there is always someone out there to help me in case I can't fix things myself. So that's the kind of challenge we might face.
Oh, so you've got a lot of people on shore that can always assist you in any time.
Absolutely,
So
yeah.
even if they throw you into the deep end, you can
Of course,
always
we have
call
to,
for help.
yeah, for sure. Yeah.
A lot of responsibilities on your head you have there,
Oh,
right?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Knowing what you know now, if you could change just one thing, what would it be and why?
That's $1 million question. I have never thought about it.
That's why it's $1 million question. If there was one thing you could change now, knowing what you know, what would you change?
Professionally? Or?
At sea, at work,
Well, see,
your life experience.
the thing is that I have been doing this job for 18 years, and I'm really looking for, a change in job. I would like to get a job in the shore side, probably with a little more responsibility
Now
and
you
challenge.
can tell the audience why you want a shoreside job.
Well,
Because?
it's been a long time, and the main thing is I do have a family back
Yes.
home. Yeah, so I want to be with them, or I want to spend more time with
know
my
how
family.
you
Yeah,
feel.
that's right. Yeah,
Yes, you have 2 daughters, if I'm not mistaken.
correct. A wife and 2 daughters.
Oh,
yes.
and the wife. You don't want to forget the wife.
Of course, yeah, wife first. Yes.
How old are they?
Well, the elder daughter is 18 years old. She's doing fashion design, and the younger one is 9 years, and she's in the 5th standard.
Oh, that's very nice. That's excellent. So then tell me, living on board out at sea can be tough.
Yeah.
Tell me, your accommodation space, does it suit you and how does it work?
I do have a single
That's
cabin.
good.
Actually, I'm a 3-stripe officer, which is like a kind of senior officer rank.
Okay.
And I do have certain privileges. Whatever.
Do they clean your cabin?
Absolutely, yeah. I
Okay.
have a cabin steward, and my laundry will be taken to laundry and.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And that means your work clothes also get done?
Correct.
Okay.
Work clothes or private clothes and things like that. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
So you don't have many costs while you're on board, eh? So as an IT communications officer, there must be a lot of responsibilities involved.
Yeah.
Can you tell me a few of your daily procedures that you have to go through in your daily life as an IT officer?
Sure. As I said, it's a combined job, communication officer and IT officer. So the daily routine means, it's my responsibility to make sure that all the emergency communication equipments are in working condition, and I do have to test them daily. There's a daily test, weekly test, monthly test, and the master, the captain, highly depends upon me on when it comes to the communication, emergency communication. So that is one of the main responsibility, and of course then the computers, networks, servers, and the running programs and everything is in working condition. So that's kind of a daily checks. Then I'm on call actually 24/7. I do have a beeper, and when there is a problem, they just beep me, and I go and attend the problem. That's the kind of job.
So if anybody has any kind of a problem, a printer breaks down, or the computer doesn't load, or they've lost the password, or
Yeah.
they just can't even turn it on, you're the guy they call.
Correct.
And then you got to go and...
I got to go and.
But you
fix the problem.
prioritize, obviously, what's more important. Like,
Yeah.
if there's other things that are more important, you go do those things first before you go and fix a printer. For example, all the guests want to come on board, and the system you use is Fidelio, if I'm correct, the Fidelio system.
That's a management software on board.
Okay.
There's a various function with that is from the gangway to the onboard accounts to
Literally
various. I mean,
everything,
it's
eh?
just yeah.
So if that goes down, what happens to you?
Well, that goes down, and there are many problems. There are many reasons. What is mean by it goes down?
I just try to give-
the server can go down.
Okay, so
the particular station can go down, or
Okay.
somewhere a computer network switch
okay.
can go down.
More detail.
Yeah.
You've
So
got to find the source and then solve that
Correct.
problem.
So, yeah.
Okay, not a problem. Do you find any difference when you're working at sea on a smaller ship, big ship? Your opinion on either of that?
Well, I haven't worked on a big ship like 3,000 passengers. In that kind of ship, I think there is a IT department, which means an systems manager, and under him there are 2 or 3, assistant systems managers.
Yeah.
But I haven't been on such big ships. This is like a one-man show. I mean, this is a small to medium kind of ship. It's just a one-man show, and there is no assistant. Yeah.
I would tell you from my experience on big ships, you're lucky. Because on the big ships, I think, it's not a one-man show, it's like a 4-man show,
Yeah.
and it can be challenging.
Challenging,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
on the smaller ships, I've noticed it's a little bit more calm, but obviously there's a lot more pressure because it's just one person.
Yeah, that's right.
What would you tell me is negatives and what's the positives of your job?
Well, the negative part is number one, you are away from your family. Okay, you do miss them on a daily basis, and every day you do the same routine. You see the same people. You do the same thing it's a 4 months contract. Okay, so for 4 months you are doing almost the same thing, and every day there's a challenge. You go through the challenges, and all for the sake of money, isn't it?
Yes.
So that is a part. I don't want to say I don't like it. That's why I'm here. All right. So what was the second question?
The positives.
Our positive side is that I can see the world for free. That's one thing that we get when we work on the ship. All right. So we have passengers coming thousands of dollars to see the places, where at the same time we go and see it for free. Well, we don't go like passengers, we don't spend that much of time ashore. At least I can say, I have been to San Juan, I have been to Florida, I have been to London, I have been to Europe, this kind of things.
You've been everywhere, I think.
I almost, well, my friend, 30 years
that's
going around
all of them,
almost every single continent, and that's a good part of the job.
What positive feedback would you offer towards people out there who are trying to get on a cruise line to work?
They have to see what position they want. Okay,
yes.
So there are, if you look at the positions, they have captain to mess boy. So how what kind of job they like it? Do they want to become an officer? Do they want to become an engineer? Do they want to work as a hotel staff? So there are qualifications for each job. So first they have to find out what they want to do, what kind of job they want. Then they have to go. They have to check what kind of qualification they need for all this.
Going back to when you're talking about your family, how, I don't know, maybe some people don't know that we can communicate at sea by some reason, but now that I'm talking to the one and only communications officer, can you tell me if we need to contact home, how do we do it on board the ship in the middle of the ocean? Is there a way?
Correct. Yeah. Most of the ships have internet access nowadays. You have a number of ways to contact, right? So when you have internet access, you can contact via WhatsApp, send text message, or voice call, or telephone call.
So we can use telephone calls now also.
Yeah. So I do keep in touch with my family almost every day.
Oh, that's nice, man. At least you can see them every day and tell your family, and even you could even show them part of the ports that you get to.
Yeah, sure.
All right. Big question that I ask everybody. Tell me one of the most shocking things you have ever encountered or seen in your career at sea.
Shocking. Well, once we had an accident on one of the cruise ships. It was accident in the sense one guest fell down to the water. I mean, down to the sea.
What?
Yeah,
how did this go? From what deck?
That was from deck 6 to down to the water.
How did he fall down? You sure his wife didn't push him?
No. He was alone. He was alone. Yeah.
Drunk?
No, actually, we came to know the whole story later. But it happened like this. One fine morning, say 3:30 a.m., one of the firemen, going around the ship for checking, and he was just standing outside, and he just heard something falling down to the water. And he just had a look, and it looks like a man fell into the water. Immediately, he reacted immediately. He called the bridge and informed the officer on watch that a man overboard and the starboard side. Well, from there, the action starts. The officer on the watch immediately made the announcement about the man overboard. Then he suddenly informed the captain. He informed the Coast Guard. Then when I heard the announcement, I had to run to the bridge because I had to take over the communication. So that was from 3:30. I took over the communication. I had various communication with the Coast Guards and various authorities. And then the best part of the thing is, like, we found this man alive after 3-4 hours. Yeah, that's true. He was Well, he was alive and he was swimming. We just found him. We called the Coast Guard helicopter, and the helicopter came and picked him up and brought him on board. Then they didn't bring him on board, but they took him to another Coast Guard ship, I believe. And then we came to we came to know that it was like a kind of suicide attempt by the guest. Nobody pushed him, eh?
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we were so happy that we picked him up alive, and that was news in North America in that time. A few years ago. Yeah. Well, that is kind of I would say the shocking news or whatever, exciting news or whatever.
That's very shocking. I've been at sea for about 18 years, 19 years, and I haven't experienced something like that.
Thank God, and I never had any other accidents at sea or anything, disasters. And
very lucky. I think when I was on my one company, I had a lot of. We would see like a boat in the middle of the ocean just sitting there. The captain was, I don't know what happened. He wanted to go investigate. He turned the ship a bit and he went towards his boat. And I'm on deck 9, looking over the thing, and I just see one head pop up, another head pop up. Another head. I'm not lying, 12, 15 people on this little dinghy boat. Illegal immigrants. Tried to get away from Cuba. Man, I couldn't believe how many on one boat. That boat would have sank in the next 5 minutes.
All the time.
Because they just want to get to a better place. So then normally what happens, they drop a tender or a lifeboat, they go down, they get them. And on some of the big ships, they have a brig, like a little jail cell, and they put them in there. And then when they get to the next port, they drop them off, or they let U.S. Coast Guard come along too, to get it. Yeah. What makes you keep coming back, Suresh? Tell me.
Well, the main thing is the life itself, right?
Not the money?
Plus, no. Of course, the money, and I don't want to say lie. So it's the money. Plus, I like to sail. I like to see the places and. That's a job I know. If I go back home, I don't know anything else. I have to find a job, right?
I know.
Yeah, that's the reason.
So with all this experience behind you when it comes to IT and communication, what is your main word of advice for them if they want it?
Well, always try to get in through a proper agency and look for a good company, all right? So, good company, once you are getting there, then if you make a good job and if you have a good reports, you always get a continuous job with the company, and that's it.
So if they want to get information to be recruited and get into this industry, they would have to do it from their country and search the web or search. What would they search for? When you searched for your days, did you just type in, what did you type, or how did you find, did you just type agencies?
Well, as I said, it was a long time ago. Well, I didn't have to type.
You were lucky. You were sent in old day style, lick it, stick it and send.
But now it's just go to Google and cruise ships job. They use this hundreds of links. All right. So and also you can go through the website of each good companies and see the present positions.
Can I ask, would you be kind if anybody would like to ask you any questions or anything, they might be able to send an email to you? I'll put your email on my show notes.
Sure, I'm more than happy to address
if you never know, maybe somebody wants to actually get into IT and they can email you a couple of questions.
Absolutely, no problem.
Excellent. Suresh, thank you so much for being a part of the Crew Life at Sea podcast. It's great.
Raymond, I'm so happy to be with you.
Me too. Just before we go, let me just tell you one more thing to the viewers. Me and this guy, we had worked together 15 years ago or so.
That is right.
15 years ago. We worked together for about 2-3 years. Yeah. We lost contact for about 15 years, and I met him recently on another company. I walked in on the ship. I looked at the tour guide. I'm like, what is this?
This is one of the exciting part of our job. We might work together on a ship, and then we miss for 10 years, 15 years. All of a sudden we meet again on another ship. That's exciting.
I'll never forget it. When I saw you there, I was like, all I could picture was that day me and you were in the crew bar and you were sitting there and we were having our moment. Right. Thank you so much, Suresh. It was a pleasure, and keep well, and I hope to see you soon.
Sure. Good.
Thanks for listening to Crew Life at Sea podcast. Want any of your questions answered? Send us an email at CREWLIFEATSEAinfogroup.com. Thank you for being a part of our adventure at sea.